guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just finished watching the second episode of season 2 of Loki. My reaction will be under my YouTube memberships. If you are new here and you do not know what my memberships are, it's a few special perks for members only. Got 2 levels of memberships over there. Level 1 is for $2.99 and you get priority replies from me, special polls, and I'm working on doing live streams. Level 2 is for $4.99 and you get everything the level 1 has, plus you get all of my reactions to all of the shows I watch, any movies I watch, and all of my uncut try not to laughs. So make sure you guys go and check that out. So this episode was a little interesting. So it started off with, excuse me. So they're obviously still looking for Sylvie. And Mobius and Loki go off to the sacred timeline to go find her. They run into X5, who was one of the hunters for the TVA. Well, he apparently is some type of superstar now. He goes by the name of Brat Wolf. And they chase him around until they find him because they know that he knows where Sylvie is. And so they're running off, and at one point he runs into like this alley and there's like tons of people there, but it's really Loki who put all these people in his way and stuff. And so they finally, it was so crazy to see like Loki and all his magic and stuff. So he magically put all these people in his way in this alley, and then he had like these shadows with horns that kind of had him against a wall. Like, it was crazy. And then there was 3 of him. Like, it was really weird. So, but anyway, they brought him back to the TVA to try to get information out of him to find out where Sylvie is. Now, Mobius knows him well enough to know that he is a jerk. Like, he will sit there and hurt your feelings and have no filter or anything, basically. So, it was between Mobius, Loki, and B-15, and they're all trying to interrogate him to try to get information out of him. And he's really, like, at this point, he's getting, like, under Loki's skin. And Mobius is, like, watching him, like, Loki's about to lose his cool. But the one who actually lost his cool was Mobius, because X5, like, basically started to, like, read him, like, told him that he knew that, you know, they were taken there. And, you know, you can tell that he was really getting under Mobius's skin, because Mobius's body language was just like he was triggered. And then he went off. And so they had to take a break after that. So in the midst of that, Miss Minutes is MIA. She's helping Renslayer, of course, as we kind of suspected. So they kind of rely on Miss Minutes, and she's not around, so it kind of sucks at this point. So now Mobius and Loki go off, and they're sitting here having key lime pie, which ironically is like really, really green. Key lime pie doesn't look that green that I've seen. So they're sitting there just trying to figure out how they're going to get Brad to talk. And they finally, excuse me, they finally figured it out. They come in with this big machine. Well, Loki does. So there's this, they had this plan, and they come in with this machine, and this machine basically, I don't know, like traps things, makes them bigger and smaller. Well, anyway, they played it off like they were both going to interrogate him, and they needed a certain contraption, a certain controller to make this machine work. And Mobius went to go look for it, and Loki closed the door behind him. So now it's just Loki and Brad in this room with this machine. And Loki ended up having it. So it made it seem like he tricked Mobius into going to see, but Mobius was in on it the whole time. So they finally got him to talk. And Loki was acting like he didn't know how to use this machine. He eventually ended up getting Brad into this box, and he kept making the box smaller and smaller. And while I was watching, I was getting so claustrophobic, because he's just like kept getting, until he talked, until he finally decided to let them know that he knew about Sylvie, but he walked away from the mission after he found her. So he ended up finding her. And as we ended up seeing, she did end up in 1982 at a McDonald's. And now that's where she has been. That's where she has made her life. And she works there now, apparently. Anyway, aside from all of that, OB is trying to fix this temporal thing, and the the um the what do you call it? What do you call it? The doors, basically the doors to go out are like locked, and the only person that can open it is he who remains, which sucks because if Miss Minutes was there, they could have used Miss Minutes as a backup. They could have gotten the doors open and everything would have been fine. But if they don't get this door open, they're all basically gonna die. So at one point too, OB and AC meet each other. This is such a nerdy moment because AC, you can tell he's a nerd and he read the TVA guidebook, and OB is the one who wrote it. And at one point they're talking to each other. He asked him for his autograph. Like, it was just a weird nerdy moment. But anyway, they're still trying to figure out also. X5 had like this temp pad, but it was different than the others, and they're trying to figure out what it does. And they still have it. I don't think they even figured it out in this episode. They still have it. Um, but anyway, so now Loki and Mobius go to find Sylvie with Brad. They end up getting there, but Brad is acting all like he's acting all scared and everything, and he just doesn't want to be there. And at first it's a little sketchy. But it's just like, does he know something that they don't know? Like, it's weird. And he's just like, no, I just don't want to be with somebody who killed 400 people, 4,000 people, however many people he said. So, oh, the containment doors. That's what I meant to say. So anyway, they're there. Loki sees her. They see each other. They take some time to talk outside. He's trying to convince her to tell him what she saw because he saw her in the future. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, basically, like, look, none of this is going to exist if you don't tell me why I saw you in the future. And so he's like, go ahead and enchant me. And she's like, no, I don't want to go back. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to do anything to you. So while they're talking, Mobius and Brad are talking inside of the restaurant. And Mobius is trying to figure out why he's so jumpy. So eventually he's just like, is this a trap? Like, what is going on? And remember the scene that we saw with all the guards from the TVA going through the time door, getting ready to go find Sylvie and basically doing whatever they need to do to get her. So Brad saw that. So Mobius brings Brad outside and he's like, he's got something to say. And he basically tells them that everybody is going to die. And, Sylvie's like, what are you talking about? So she enchants him and she sees the troops going out. And she's like, all right, we got to get out of here because they're going to destroy everything. So they end up going to the main place where they all ended up at. And they're all taking billions of people out, going through these timelines and just pruning whoever. And there's so many that are going on that they're taking people out by the millions. So they finally shut that down, but by the time they got back to the TVA, they're looking at the sacred timeline and they are all like in utter disbelief at how many lives are gone. And it was such like a sad moment. It was just like, damn, like they took these people out. In the meanwhile, this thing going on with the temporal aura is still happening. So, at this point, Sylvie doesn't want to stay there anymore. She leaves. She's upset. Now she's outside of the McDonald's, sitting on her car, and the kid who I guess is a manager or trains her, he's closing up. He comes out, and he's kind of talking to her in like a weird way. It's like almost a little sketchy. And I'm just like, something's up with this kid. And he asks her, like, hey, everything's okay. Are you going to be in tomorrow? And the way that he asked her was strange. She was like, yeah, I'll be here. And he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, your mom's picking you up. And he's like, yeah, I'll be fine. And he walks off, but she's looking at him and she has this device in her hand and she's looking at him like she knows something's up. And I have a feeling this kid is not who he seems he is. Like something is up with him and where she's at right now. And I guess we probably won't find out until the next episode, but that's just my opinion. It looked real suspect, but I enjoyed this episode very, very much. Leave your comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed my review for episode 2 of season 2 of Loki. And if you did watch it, let me know what you guys think. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!